How is it that masters calculate tactics so fast? Today, I'm going to show you one of the highest level thinking methods that I use to outthink you. I'm National Master Jesse Cohen. This is Summit School of Chess, and welcome to Master Chess Training. Cue the music. By the way, before we get started, I know that you're definitely going to smash that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and help me grow into a massive rival of Nakamura. Or something. I don't know. Smash the button. You know what to do. Come on. It helps encourage me with videos. You know what I'm saying. All right. Let's go. All right, so today's technique, super important. When you start getting good at calculating tactics, sometimes you just kind of get stuck. And you find that there's a position where you're almost able to make it work. Almost able to, but it's not quite coming together. And there is a technique that is going to help pull you out of that situation and get you through that thinking block, and is going to help you find the tactic time after time after time. You gotta check this out, okay? The technique is called reversing the move order. At least that's what Grandmaster Lev Albert calls it. I simply say you gotta switch things up, okay? Sometimes you're gonna have a position where you're like, this is all almost working, but not quite. And if you actually just try mixing up the move order that you're trying to initiate, oftentimes that is the solution. Let's see some examples. Let's take a look at this first position. You should probably sense that there is something going on around Black's king. With the combination of this rook aiming at the king, this queen aiming nearby, and this knight also helping out, you might be starting to sense that there's some sort of combination, and you might have started to look at some sort of forceful moves, checks, captures, and threats. If you're thinking this way, you're on the right track. It would not be too uncommon to see someone go down the pathway of thinking rook takes c7, king takes c7, queen to a7 check, king to c8, knight takes b6 check, king to d8, queen takes b8 check, king e7. But the thing is as the position goes on, it gets murkier and murkier. And the thing is that we want to stick toward clarity, okay? This is Grandmaster advice right here. If you have the option between taking something that is clear or maybe getting something better, but it's not sure, take the thing that's clear, okay? In other words, if you see a definite win of a piece or a maybe checkmate, take the piece, okay? In this position, it's just kind of too murky. But here's the deal. Let's go back. Let's think about that move order. We were just thinking about rook takes c7, king takes c7, queen to a7 check. But it wasn't quite working out. What if we reverse the move order? Aha! Check this out. It's actually a lot easier than you think. After queen a7 check, the only move, well, Black has two options in this position. If king takes queen, then, do you see it? Rook takes c7 check, king a8 forced, and knight takes b6 checkmate. If king to c8, then queen c7, queen and helper, kiss of death, checkmate, pretty easy. Okay, again, a lot of people would have gotten stuck in that situation. They might have played rook takes c7 and kind of got the murkiness, or they might have just been like, it's not too clear, and gone for nothing and skipped over the entire opportunity. When you feel that there is probably a winning move there and it's not quite working, you've got to try mixing up the order that you play those moves. Let's look at our next position. Here comes our next position. Let's take a look. In this crazy looking example, Black has a lot of firepower aiming in the direction of White's king. With the queen on h4, the rook, the bishop, and the other bishop, it makes quite the favorable impression in the direction of White's king. And naturally, when you have such overpowering force, you should be looking at the checks, captures, and threats that could drive home your advantage. In this position, we can't help but notice that the bishop and the queen are both lined up on the f2 square. And if this rook simply didn't exist, that we could simply play queen to f2 checkmate. So we consider some moves like rook to d1 check. But the problem is, of course, is that after rook to d1 check, the knight takes back and unfortunately is covering the f2 square, so there's not going to be a checkmate. We try to search in vain for all the different ways that we can possibly move this rook to try and make some sort of discovery with the checkmate, but we just can't quite make it work. Then we think, well, what if, the goal was to play rook d1 check and then slide the queen in there, but it wasn't quite working. But what if we reverse the move order? Queen to f2 check. A very crazy and very forceful move. King takes queen is absolutely forced. And now do you see it? Rook to d1 check. Instead, in this position, what does white do? There is no way to take the bishop. There's nowhere to run because everything is amazingly covered by all of black's pieces. The only move left is bishop to e3. And beautifully enough, bishop takes e3 is checkmate. Again. Next time you are so close to finding that move that's just going to win, it's just not quite there, try reversing or mixing up the order, and you will see very often you will find a breakthrough that does work. Try it out yourself. Our final position is simple, but one of my favorites. In this position, white is noticing that black's king is a little bit out of place. He's kind of out there on his own, and white is considering ideas like bishop b2, pairing up the queen, trying to make some mating threats around the king. After knight to g8, maybe pawn to f5, queen to e7, and as the lines kind of draw out, yeah, white has an advantage, but it's kind of hard to make it, fully realized. If we go back just a second ago, instead of playing bishop to b2 with the idea to play queen takes f6, what if we play queen takes f6 check first? And then, now you see it, don't you? After queen takes f6 check, king takes f6, bishop to b2 check, queen c3 embarrassingly is forced, and after queen takes bishop, this is just checkmate. If black had opted not to take the queen instead and go out to maybe g8, then bishop b2, and now the mates are coming basically unstoppable. And so yeah, you've got to use this technique. This technique of reversing the move order or switching it around is going to take you hundreds of points up the tactical ladder, okay? The first step is you've got to trust your instincts. If you get that kind of tingling inside you where you just feel like you've got a winning idea there, search hard for it. Mix up the move order. Reverse it completely sometimes. You're going to find a lot more winning strikes a lot more often, and your rating is going to skyrocket. Hope that you use this lesson. Again, if you like what you're seeing here, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, help this grow. Really appreciate it. It motivates me to make more videos, and thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm National Master Jesse Cohen. This is Summit School of Chess. This is National Master Training, and I will see you next time. Cue some more music. Ha!